Hi, welcome. My name is Lynette, and this is Africa's Junction. I'm just going to apologize to our TikTok viewers that I had to delete the video of President Lula, the part one, and it's because there was breaking news. Of course, you must have heard of the DRC Rwanda peace deal that happened in Washington. President Trump facilitating the whole process, and it was a success in terms of signing and everything, but in terms of implementation, we are yet to see, but we are optimistic that this is probably the more binding and neutral peace deal that this region has had. So we're just going to go into the speeches. I'm just gonna do the speeches. Probably much later on we'll just do a video on what the Washington Accords peace deal entailed and what is the way forward for that region, especially DRC Congo. So yes, we're going to start with, of course, the host and the facilitator, President Trump. So have you ever heard of any of Trump's speeches? They're full of grandiose, like America First. You know, the whole America First thing is a Trump. It's very Trump like, whereby he will speak very highly of his country, of what he has done. So at some point he said the US is the hottest country, in the world right now. Yeah, and you may love him or hate him, but for me, I love that he is so country oriented. Didn't you want a president who, shouts out to the world how amazing you are and actually does the work? So yes, he went to the grandiose part of like America, yeah, we're the hottest country. This current regime, we've been able to sign a monumental peace deal, unlike the previous regime who tried but clearly did not try hard enough. That is what he said. So the peace deal is just to disarm the non-state forces, M23, and there are about like 120 militia groups in DRC. Can you believe it? It's not, M23 is just the most prominent and probably the most funded out of all those. Just for people to return home, he talked about all that. He thanked all the players, including his own people from the US who helped in the peace deal. He thanked Qatar. He thanked all the people who were involved. So I like that about his speech. Again, he went on and talked about how his current, during his regime, that they have been able to raise or make trade treaties and deals worth 18 trillion USD in the past 10 months. And yet in Biden's term, he only had brokered $1 trillion in a span of 4 years. So of course, yeah, the grandiose is there. So also he talked about Rwanda and DRC healing old wounds and just moving forward. He talked about the senseless killing, which might have been construed as insensitive, yeah, because he said like before they were just killing each other, but now look, they're laughing and shaking hands, which was not really what was happening on ground. President Kagame and President Tshisekedi were not laughing and holding hands, and they were like looking at each other like, I do not trust you. So he said that might have been construed as insensitive, but he also talked about how he wants to move forward. Yeah, let all parties, there's a lot of money to be made, so let all parties be there, be present, and just let it be peaceful so that everyone can benefit from this deal. So he did not pretend that the US is there for nothing, which is good because everyone knows everyone has an interest. It's called geopolitics. You have to have some interest somewhere. So US is massively aware of what DRC holds and the benefits it can bring for every party. It's mutually beneficial. So it's not like what the cartels and the militia are doing right now, whereby even the Rwandese do not have any they feel shortchanged. Not only do they feel, they are shortchanged, because many DRC citizens are poor, not because particular on that. Yeah, he was also very grateful for all the people who had worked towards peace for his country. Of course, he thanked the U.S. president, Qatar. He thanked Angola. He thanked Kenya, and in particular, he named the presidents, President Lorenzo of Angola. He actually mentioned President Uhuru Kenyatta for that, and you'd think that he'd thank the president, the current president Ruto, but that is not necessarily the case, because there are two reasons. The first reason is it's President Uhuru Kenyatta who was involved in the Nairobi process, like he was seated and doing the work, so he that's one reason. The second reason is that our current president, in terms of being neutral, it's viewed, quote unquote, it's viewed that he's more pro-Rwanda than DRC. So, and also you remember after the Nairobi process that happened, I believe it was in 2022, later on we found that the rebel M23 big wigs meeting in Nairobi after the Nairobi peace deal, now the militia meets afterwards in Nairobi, and Nairobi is supposed to be a neutral ground, and the militia, of course, is against the FDLR, the government. So how do you expect the president to believe that you are neutral and impartial? So there's been like some, what can I say, some mistrust, and it is warranted. Yeah. So that is what President Trump and President Tshisekedi said. So now the next video will be looking, part 2 will be looking at what President Kagame said, what President Ruto said, President of Burundi, and there was another guy, he's a mystery guy to Africa's Junction right now. I've tried to look for him, but he was also part of